There's a shell. Shell? No shell. Shell? No shell. Hiding tortoise? No tortoise. Alright, so thanks for tuning back into Vicariously Living. And today's video is about what I do for work. So for work, I am a wildlife technician 1, and it is a temporary job. So I started in July and I should end by beginning of January, and I am part of the tortoise surveying crew. And there's a tortoise out here called the Gopher tortoise that is endangered. So our job is to go out and find tortoise burrows, which is where they live, and then we have a camera that's a scope, and you just like shimmy your way down the hole to see if there is a tortoise that's home. And the cool thing about a gopher tortoise is they're a keystone species, so they can hold up to 300 different species inside of their burrows. So while we're scoping, we'll see different insects, reptiles, and mammals inside the burrows along with the tortoises. All right, it's close to 7 o'clock. Here's all my stuff for the week. And then here's all the equipment that we need that's been charged up over the weekend to make sure that we are ready to start as soon as we get down to site. Get all of our stuff. Wow. Here we got 2 hours and a half to make it to our first stop.
Videotaping me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I did get this, and I got asparagus.
Asparagus?
I don't know, they were all freaking me out, and then I got the peas.
Yes, we love the
Because
peas.
it said organic, and that the branding worked on me, I trusted it.
So this definitely reminds me of my good old fire days. Do a short stop to the washroom and just like snack to our next destination. So all right, we got passenger 2 and we are ready to rock and roll and get to site and get to working. All right, so now we have 3 of us all in a vehicle getting ready for work, and as usual, when you work with people for a while, you start talking about some random things. So here we are talking about s'mores.
It's like plug. I know the brand. I thought people would put on like s'mores or something.
Here I am suited up with our long camera scope. Would you get a load of that? Because we're doing what?
Doing tortoise surveys.
Well, I carry the custom camera. Over here, my other coworker is carrying the camera case along with our measuring stick to see the width of the burrow. So we're at the burrow and she'll measure the opening with the measuring stick. This helps to reflect the age of the tortoise. And then the last person in our crew is carrying a handheld GPS, but also like a data collector for where we find the burrows. Alright, so literal camera action. She's turning on the screen and the microscope and just pushing it down all the way into the tortoise's burrow until hopefully we see a tortoise or we see the end of the burrow. Oh, he turned around.
Oh, it doesn't get any better than
Dang
that.
it.
I was too slow. That was it. That was Vogue.
No.
It was literally Vogue. Like,
It
I've
was
never seen a more
Vogue.
beautiful shot of the tortoise in the camera before. He was kind of distressed though, that's the only thing. The other tortoise was a little calmer.
Ah, dang it. Minus missing out on that beautiful shot of the gopher tortoise, we do see other creatures living with the gopher tortoise that I caught on film. You can kind of see his face. He looks kind of like a bird.
Yeah, he looks super goofy.
Little guy. It's like that one book, Frog and...
Dude, Frog and Toad?
Frog and Toad.
Dude, I love Frog and
he's
Toad.
moving.
He's moving.
Wakey, wakey.
Aww.
What the heck?
Jumped out of the shot. Is he turning around though?
Turn around. Oh, I think he's digging. This is probably my one least favorite thing to see around a gopher tortoise burrow is a tick, and specifically this is a gopher tortoise tick. It is not uncommon for one of these ticks to be latched onto a gopher tortoise. Surprisingly, they do not hold a serious threat to a gopher tortoise. Here we're at the mouth of a tortoise burrow and we see some black widow action. Like I said earlier, Gopher tortoise burrows do host homes for a lot of creatures, and as usual, not every single creature are the friendliest, so you just have to be really careful about the entrance and around a gopher tortoise burrow. And here I'll segue into some other things that you may learn about being on a gopher tortoise crew. These things wrapped around her feet are not shin guards, those are gaiters, and we appreciate those because of these. There are a lot of snakes around and you will not see them until you see them, so gotta be safe. This is a classic stump hole and they'll come up out of nowhere and you can definitely hurt your ankle real quick. Next is your 3-leaf poison oak. This stuff is not to play around with. Some people have really bad allergic reactions to them. Luckily I don't, but it can give you up to almost like 2nd-degree burn bubbles all over your skin. We have a lot of pokey shrubs, also known as briars, that you'll run into literally all the time. You might find them around as low as your ankles or high above your head.
My legs are just like
and then
no, poor pumpkin.
This is a Juro spider. They may not be scary, but they are to me, especially because they're always literally everywhere. These can also be around your ankles or at your face, and I've definitely ran into one because they kind of get invisible. Gnats, they'll be all over the place, just like they're all over my hand. They are probably all over my face when I was recording. We do miles and miles of walking through all kinds of terrain and through the thick, which is why you always have to check for ticks. And then there are times where our equipment breaks down and we have to stay in the same position until it starts to work again, which may be a while, and we'll be just sitting in the heat. Unfortunately, our equipment is not capable of withstanding high humidity, so not even just rain in general, but the humidity. And so if there's any rain, we have to get out of the way and we have to go indoors and try to be doing some stuff inside, which there isn't much to do, so we just keep busy until the rain passes by. As much as I appreciate free places to stay, sometimes the places that we stay aren't the cleanest and they may have some scary things. Magical Wonderland! Even though there may have been a good amount of cons, I would like to say that I have no regrets. These type of jobs that I have done in my life has allowed me to go to a lot of different places and for me to see things that I would like to say most people don't get to experience. So I really appreciate these type of jobs and I can check off all these different things that I've done in my life because of it. Alright, so that's what it looks like to be a wildlife technician on a tortoise surveying crew. I hope you enjoyed and thanks for tuning back into Vicariously Living. Yeah. And Hazel out.